The 7-11's harsh fluorescent lights hummed, a monotonous drone that matched the rhythm of Alice's weary existence. Each scanned item, each forced smile, was a fragile barrier against the internal chaos. She built a wall of normalcy, a facade that kept the darkness at bay. Seeing Liam, under Annabelle's calculated direction, was a strategic move, not a longing for her past. Then Shane returned. He didn't storm in, didn't make a scene. He simply appeared, a ghost from her past, a whisper of temptation in the stale air. "Alice," he said, his voice a low, almost gentle caress. This isn't you. You were meant for more than aisles of sugary drinks and lottery tickets." He held out a small baggie, the white powder glinting under the harsh lights like a promise of oblivion. "A little something to smooth the edges," he said, his eyes holding a knowing glint. "A reminder of what you're capable of." Alice's breath hitched. Shane had changed. He wasn't the crude, predictable manipulator she remembered. There was a subtle darkness in his eyes, a quiet confidence that spoke of deeper, more insidious influences. The air around him crackled with an unseen energy, a sense of hidden power. "I don't need this," she said, her voice a fragile defiance, a desperate attempt to cling to the last vestiges of control. "Don't you?" Shane countered, his voice a soft, almost pitying murmur. "Or are you afraid of what you might find when you let go?" He didn't push, didn't argue. He simply placed the baggie on the counter, a silent challenge, a subtle invitation. He knew her weaknesses, the constant battle within her mind, the voices that whispered in the darkness. He knew the allure of the escape, the temporary oblivion offered by the drug. Alice's hand trembled, drawn to the baggie like a moth to a flame. The pull was too strong, the escape too tempting. She found herself back at Shane's and Joe's, the drugs flowing freely, her inhibitions dissolving like smoke in the wind. Shane wasn't heavy-handed. He didn't need to be. He was a master of subtle manipulation, a puppeteer pulling invisible strings. He offered her a life of whispered promises, of fleeting pleasures, of power that felt both intoxicating and terrifying. He spoke of men who crave her attention, of money that flowed like liquid gold, of a world where she could finally be free. Alice, lost in the haze of the drug, didn't see the larger game being played. She didn't know about Tyrian, the unseen hand guiding Shane's movements. She didn't know about Elliot's twisted obsession, his belief that he was saving her by forcing her back to Liam. And she didn't know about Annabelle's subtle manipulations, his hidden agenda, his determination to break her free from their control. All she knew was a constant battle within her mind, the fragmented memories that haunted her waking hours, the voices that whispered in the shadows of her consciousness. She knew the allure of the escape, the temporary oblivion offered by the drugs. And she knew the subtle, insidious control Shane held over her, the way he could manipulate her with a word, a touch, a promise. She was a pawn in a game she didn't understand, a game played by God and mortals, a game where the stakes were higher than she could ever imagine. The air was thick with unspoken threats, with hidden agendas, with the sense that something dark and powerful was about to unfold.